Hey guys, welcome to another SaaS landing page teardown. Today we're going to do a huge case study of all the things that Grammarly does really well. And it's the very reason why they turned into a $13 billion company. Basically with just a Chrome plugin, right? So here are 7 lessons that you can learn from Grammarly that you can apply directly to your SaaS business, right? The first thing that we're going to start with is the landing page, of course, right? So the landing page is pretty good. Is like very simple because it's a very simple product, but they could have easily made this way too complicated, right? So the really good thing that is about this page is that it's very visual, right? So the thing that they do is very, very clear, where you just have a sentence and you have the source, whether it's Gmail or Google Doc or whatever it might be. It just kind of corrects everything that you're writing, right? So they also show that they work everywhere you work. So that's something that SaaS companies don't really tend to do well. Show not only the integrations that they can offer, but some of the use cases that they can provide. In this case, they show really clearly they can use it in all sorts of email apps, all sorts of documents like Google Docs and Word and all that stuff, and even on social media. So you write perfectly in every single one of them, right? So that's why that's really useful. Then they also try to go beyond grammar and saying that they also show how to rephrase certain sentences so they sound like better, more professional, or whatever the tone you select. So they kind of provide a glimpse of what does the premium offer, but they could have gone a little bit further. When it comes to the premium features, they could have shown the plagiarism, which is big for the education and some business side of things. They could have shown how this works with teams. They could have shown a few other things because while this is really good to get a free sign up, they could have get people to sign up for the free plan and really being really happy about what it offers, but also provide a glimpse of what they could get if they upgrade in the future, right? So they would come with the expectation that I want to try it, but I might upgrade in the future because these features sound really good, right? They do have other ways of promoting those premium features, but that's something that I would make a little bit more obvious right from the beginning. So we will attract people that have some sort of idea why they should upgrade right from the beginning, right? So that's pretty much it about this landing page. Is really, really good. The thing that they do really well as well is they do for all the platforms. I think they also do for so they also do it for Google Docs and Microsoft Office and everything. So it's very, very clear if someone's looking for grammar check for Google Docs or anything like that, they see it right away. And they're also really good with these pages like Grammarly for business, Grammarly for education and stuff like that, because they know who they're targeting. They know they have businesses that need to check for plagiarism, or they want to have a certain tone or fit to their brand or whatever it might be. They know they have a bunch of students using it, and whenever it's exam finals period, or whenever it's back to school or something, that they really want to use it, and they use it quite a lot. So they don't spend hours just checking for typos in their homework and stuff like that. So they really know their audience. They only communicate the things that are relevant. They could have added a few other things, but so far this page is really good. Is that something you should take some tips from? Right, and the second thing is that they have a really good blog, right? And I'm talking like not having just content marketing or just having a blog or just having like a bunch of pieces and having a ton of traffic. No, everything that they write is very, very specific in order to attract their ideal audience. What a lot of SaaS companies do is they either write something that will never rank, and therefore no one's going to really see their articles, or they write something that, they delegate it to an agency or something like that, and it's not really that useful. Whereas Grammarly, they have pretty good content, and also every single thing that they write is directly related to a problem they solve. So the thing that makes or breaks content marketing is just this one rule, which is if you write articles or create videos or whatever it might be, whatever form of content you want to create, if you create content around problems that people have that you can solve, then you'll attract people with those problems, and therefore they will want your solution. So that is like the secret, is only writing about things or creating videos or whatever it might be about problems you can fix. And obviously, if you're looking at this, you might think, but I will run out of problems, or I will not like not all these keywords will rank and stuff like that. That is because, yes, there are some niches where it's kind of hard to rank or find those keywords, but there's always a way they can do this, always a way where your audience congregates, where it can create the sort of content, right? Because what they have done here is they didn't fall into really amazing niche where they got lucky and stuff like that. No, they really done the research where every single thing that they write is like will attract the people that they want, right? So for example, about keeping emails short, about saving, like this is more of a promotional type of thing, a guide on the newsletter, biography, everything that people are searching for around writing and how to write well and how to phrase sentences. Probably might have articles on proper English grammar and stuff like that. They have done everything to where instead of you learning how to do it or just reading about it, they have that perfect transition between, instead of reading the blog, why don't you just install Grammarly and it'll tell you everything, right? So the only thing that they could have done better is they could have done that contrast in here, for example, where they could have said, instead of just learning how to write longer sentences or how to shorten your sentences or how to use like different verbs to make the sentence more clear or whatever it might be, they could have just had a call to action saying, hey, instead of you learning that, you can just install Grammarly and it'll suggest everything for you. And they could have done it fairly similar to the homepage where they just show a GIF of Grammarly fixing it or suggesting things and so on, because they not only they would get more signups, but it would probably attract people that have this exact use case where they really want to write well, and those probably will be willing to pay for it, right? So that's the only thing that would improve in the blog. But so far they have that one key thing, which is writing stuff around programs. The other companies that do it really well is Lemlist, which, as you can see, every single thing that they write is about outbound. So from little things like mastering LinkedIn search to how to find prospects to how to do the sales and everything like that. They have every single thing that people need in order to get started, in order to understand from A to Z exactly how to build a business, how to start outbound and stuff like that. They don't create random ass articles saying how to start a business or how to start an agency or stuff like that. No, they just show everything very clear down to templates and so on. So they see Lemlist as the tool to use if they want to do outbound at scale, right? So that's pretty much something that you should follow both of these guys for. The third thing, and this is directly related to the blog, is they don't have lead magnets in terms of like ebooks or white papers, which is the one that I hate the most. They have lead magnet tools, which basically means is like a glimpse of the tool that they offer that people can play with, and then just gives just makes people want to sign up, right? So, for example, these are pages that they'll most likely rank on Google for, but they can also put it on the side of the blog if it's related to a plagiarism type article or whatever, something like that. They can say that you can scan for plagiarism, you can upload a file and stuff like that. So they can get a glimpse of how it works, right? And it'll tell you the issues. And then what will happen next is it will tell you to basically tell you to sign up and all the issues that it has and everything, right? So they don't tell you which issues you have until you sign up, but this is an amazing way for you to get signups, right? So I want you to think about how you can replicate this with your own product. Do you want to do this with reports? Do you want to do this with, I don't know, some sort of audit? Whatever ways, like 90% of the time, there's something that you can do. They can provide a glimpse of the product that is easily shareable, that they can see right away, that it doesn't show the full product, so they still have the curiosity to book a demo or still sign up and stuff like that. That is just built on the curiosity, but also has like a lower commitment, so they can convert right now, or you get their email and stuff like that, right? So this is something that Grammarly has done immensely well. So then it's very easy for them to turn it into a freemium, like into a free plan sign up. They also do this with grammar. They do this with a bunch of things. So this is perfect to keep on the side of the articles, in the footer. Like these landing pages rank quite well. That's why they are a little bit long, so they can rank with all these titles and everything. And a few other examples, so you can see more examples, is this was actually a client as well, where you can say get a free SEO audit in 15 minutes. So basically this is a tool that goes over your entire SEO. And what you've done is you can actually get a report first, and basically just another way of framing it, framing for you to sign up for a free trial, right? So it's a different way of framing it, but it's the exact same thing. And this works quite well as well. The other guy that has done it really well is Neil Patel with Suggest. Basically what it does is you're able to search for a keyword. So let's say I'm searching for SaaS, and this might take a little bit of time. So basically what it does is it kind of just gives you like the top 10 or so keywords. And then if you want to sign up for more, you just get a trial, or you just get a free account, and then you can see all the keywords, because at some point you won't see all of them. You only see like the first few, right? So if you want to unlock all these other ideas, you just have to sign up. You'll see all the numbers, and you see exactly how it works. But you still have the curiosity to see the rest of the data, to want to sign up, and so on, right? The first thing that they do really, really well is they always sell you on the contrast between the free plan that you're using and the premium features that they have, right? So every single day you're using the tool, you use it like probably hundreds of times a day just because you're typing all day. And they always remind you of how things could be better, right? So for example, let's say you're typing an email or sentence or whatever it might be, and it fixed all the issues, and it says, okay, you don't have any typos, but there are a few issues in terms of clarity. There are issues in terms of the tone or whatever it might be. So the only way for you to find those issues is for you to sign up for the premium plan, right? So you're constantly reminded that yes, your emails no longer have any typos, or your documents, whatever it might be, but there could always be a way to make it better, right? So always reminded every single day that your emails, your sentences you write could be better, could be clearer, could be shorter, could have a better tone, could be more professional, all these things, right? So you're constantly reminded of upgrading, which is something that very few SaaS companies do well, especially when they have like freemium plans. And that's why it's kind of hard for them to scale, because they don't nail that upgrade path, right? One company that also does it really, really well is Calendly. So the way they do it is every time you try to customize a lot of things in this, like in terms of event scheduling, or you want to customize the way your booking page looks, or you want to customize the reminders that people get, or send like text reminders, you're always reminded within the UI itself that this is a pro feature. This is something you have to upgrade to. So they let you fill around with all the settings, but then they show you that you have to upgrade to get that feature, right? So it's always very clear what features you have now versus which ones you should have access to. And this is something that every SaaS company should be doing. Not only ones that have like free plans and everything, like have like a freemium model. Every single SaaS company should be doing this, because let's say most of your users are signing up for the middle plan, and it could have make like 50% more revenue if you have these things that help them understand what is the difference between their plan, the plan that's signed up for right now versus the one that they could be using, right? So you're constantly reminded what is the what is the difference between what they're using now and what they could be using, what is the full potential of the product, and that would really help them, really help you maximize the amount of revenue you make per customer, right? Sometimes the best retention is ascension, which basically means they pay more, right? So they keep using your product more and more until they pay more, right? The only way that would make this a little bit better is in Grammarly. Let's say you get an email from a colleague or anything like that, and Grammarly detects that. I'll probably find a way to try to show more business use cases or ways to invite colleagues, because you've found typos in their emails, and then there's like an automated reply where I can tell them there's a typo in an email and make that useful. I'm not sure if that's like feasible in terms of compliance, but that would be just an idea that they could try, or at least find ways that it could be more business focused and team focused, because the Grammarly does this really well for personal accounts, but they might have a few issues with businesses in communicating that value, right? So this is something that you should adopt as well. Always sell on that contrast, even if they're already paying, sell them on the next plan. The fifth thing they do really well is they have time discounts. So they time the discounts based on time of the year, based on the usage you have, based on, for example, a Black Friday where people run discounts like normally and people are expecting it. They based it on a specific like working season, or if it's like summer or going back to work or whatever it might be. They always have like just an excuse to upgrade, which they do really, really well. So here are a few examples. So for example, they know they have a lot of students, so they have back to school discounts all the time. These are like emails I found on Google just to be able to find them more easily, where they can you're reminding that you're going back to school, so they just give you like a discount for students of 55% off. They do the same thing with just trying out the free plan or upgrading. They also do one where, let's say you install the app. They also show you an email saying, hey, you'll be using it for a few weeks. How about a 50% discount for the whole year, right? A few things like that really gets people over the edge because now they've used it. Now the timing is really right for them to upgrade, and so on and so forth, right? So this is something that you can replicate really well. And I'll even give you another example. So for example, I had this client that 7x the amount of trials, like customers he was getting from trials. And all we did is we kind of show a similar email. So let's say it was a SEO tool. So basically after they got their first reports, they would get a few emails to get a discount, right? So because they actually took action, they get a reward by, if they upgrade now, they can get a discount. Like a 25% off or something like that, right? Then we did the same at the end of the trial. So the trial was just about to end or just ended. Do they want to sign up for a discount? Because those people wouldn't sign up in the first place. So we'll kind of give them that extra push, right? Another company that does it well, but honestly kind of overdoes it, but they have grown quite a lot from it, is JotForm. So basically when you sign up, I use JotForm myself for like a few tax forms. When you sign up, you get redirected to in 24. You have like 24 hours to upgrade, and by that time, because the tool is very simple, you already created a form. Or maybe it's after you created the first form, they give you like 24 or 48 hours to upgrade, and then they keep also doing those time discounts, right? So after X months of me using it, or for Black Friday or whatever it might be. So if done right, this can actually increase the amount of revenue you're making per customer. It's not going to cheapen your tool because not everyone is going to see this discounts. Only people that are most likely to upgrade are actually seeing them. So this is actually the perfect way of doing it. The sixth thing they do super well is their videos. Their video ads are like amazing. They literally, if you look at all these headlines, you'll know that they show all the use cases, from writing emails to communicating effectively to closing more deals, stuff that you're sending out, to stuff that you might do at school, like essays and polishing everything that you might be writing, or in terms of homework and stuff like that. So they'll literally show every single use case that people might worry about. Then they turn it into a story, like someone's story. So for example, something that they do really well is this guy, I don't know, communicated something in a way to like his pitch to a few investors, and didn't resonate well. So this is building a fear that people have. So it's like leveraging the fear that people already have to show that they don't want that to happen. And then when he used Grammarly, obviously the pitch resonated quite like way better. Same thing happened with this other guy that was handling a difficult client situation, and he wanted the email to be as professional as possible and as neutral as possible, so he wouldn't react negatively to what was happening, and so on and so forth. So they show examples that people can relate to, and they know that these situations will happen, and they will see themselves using it. And somehow they do all this within 1-minute videos, and that's like the hardest part. Even though they're like high production, they're done really well. You can do this with something that is like animated and stuff like that. The genius of this is like showing the use cases and showing it within 1 minute. So it's perfect for YouTube video ads. It's perfect to show with inside the product. It's perfect for landing pages. Literally, these guys reuse it like everywhere, right? And what happens is they've spent so much money on ads and acquiring users and so on that somehow they start ranking organically. They also, like I said, can reuse it within the app. They can use it on landing pages so people can see exactly how this works. And these videos like do amazing, right? So that's pretty much it for the videos. What you want to think about is, how do I do something similar for my product? Sometimes just showing a little bit of the product itself makes like a big difference. So one thing they do really well is they show the before and after, because at the end of the day, that's your selling, just a before and after of how people are fixing a certain problem right now versus how they could be doing with your tool, how much easier it is. So they really are masters of showing the before, how the sentence was like really unclear and so on, to the after, something that it's like very easy to fix and sounds 10 times better, right? So this is the before and after, something that you can do really well. And if you can do it within this 1 minute time frame for ads and everything, you'll have amazing assets for you to leverage literally everywhere in the product, in your marketing and everything. And the seventh and the last thing that they do super well is they worked super hard to make sure that they work everywhere that we might want to use the tool, everywhere we write, basically, right? So they didn't let's say you want to use this for Gmail or Google Docs or something. They didn't limit the tool to just a Gmail plugin, right? They actually worked really hard to make sure that they work in as many places as possible. So from all the major emails and messages, clients, from documents to social media and stuff like that, they work hard to do this, and they didn't force you to write in their own environments, like writing environments when it comes to writing articles and stuff like that. When I started using it like 8 years ago or something, they did force some people to use like their writing environment if you wanted to write like long-term stuff, like long-form stuff. But they stopped using that, and then eventually they were able to create a Google Doc integration and make sure that people could use it in Google Docs natively, right? So what this does is this really helps with this PLG flywheel that I drew just for this example, which, let's say that people sign up because they want to use it in Gmail, and they want to get make sure that all their emails are professional and stuff like that, right? So then now they notice that they can use it in Google Docs, and now they're writing long articles or sentences, and they're noticing that a lot of things could be clarified, their sentences could be shorter, the things could have a more professional tone and so on, and now they're considering upgrading to the premium plan, just because you're using it more often, right? When it comes to just writing short emails, they're probably not going to get that many things wrong, but when it comes to long-form stuff, they might get more things wrong. Then it's social media, which is just like another touch point, right? Now that they love the tool, they're more likely to use it at work, or invite or refer other people to use it as well, right? So it just gets this flywheel to go like way faster, where they could have gotten stuck just using it for Gmail and just assuming, hey, this is good to fix a couple of typos I might have in my Gmail, but not that much more, right? Because they really took the time to work everywhere, they really improved the activation side of things and get people to use it all the time and be insanely active, because they are like everywhere. So you need to think about, what can you do to your tool to make sure that you're everywhere that your users could be, right? So I'll give you a few other examples. For example, Calendly also does this really well. So they have a Chrome extension where this shows up in your Google Calendar, shows up in your Gmail where you want to suggest a meeting. It shows up in Zoom, I think, as well. So there are a bunch of plugins that they created to make sure that everywhere where you might suggest a meeting, you have like a quick way to access this. Even in LinkedIn DMs, you can do this. So this is like super cool. Same thing with Miro. They created like apps for Zoom and Google Meet where you can use your boards right in a meeting, because they recognize people create these boards for meetings. So why not just have a meeting for like a plugin for meetings where they can create stuff on the fly and collaborate on the fly and everything, right? So they don't force people to use their tool. They are everywhere where people are working already. Same thing with Google Meet. Google Meet got a ton of users just by creating automatically a link whenever you create an event in your calendar. Same thing with like other products that are similar, that created Zoom apps, that created apps like for Google Meets, that created like Chrome extensions, and so on and so forth, right? So you want to think about how you can do something similar for yourself, because the more people use it, the more likely they are to refer it, and the more likely they are to stay and pay more, and so on. So you cannot go wrong by doing this, right? So hopefully you like this case study, and let me know what you think in the comments. I have more of them coming. Cheers.